Hi guys. There are many people in the world who are delighted by snakes, but still, most at the sight of snakes feel horror and disgust. This subconscious fear is largely due to the danger of these creatures to humans. After all, the bite of even a small poisonous snake can kill you in a matter of minutes. Now you will see snakes in action. But first, let's all together subscribe to the channel and hit the bell button so as not to miss new exciting videos. Let's get started. Gaboon viper can rightfully be called the queen of vipers. This is one of the deadliest snakes in the world, but there is one but. It is very phlegmatic, therefore not as dangerous as other vipers. It is so phlegmatic that it can be picked up by the tail without fear of being bitten. But I would not advise you to treat this snake in this way. You see a flock of guinea fowls in the field of vision of a gaboon viper. The snake quietly and calmly waited for its moment to attack, and bit one bird. The deadly cocktail acts instantly, the bird could no longer budge, and the viper, after waiting a little, began its meal. This video filmed a fight between a honey badger and a python. Python grabbed the honey badger and began to choke. However, dealing with a honey badger is not easy. The honey badger tries to free himself, and at some point in time a coyote runs up to them. Python is distracted by him and the honey badger manages to free himself. But instead of running away, this crazy animal begins to drive away the coyotes from the python. While the python was in complete shock from what was happening, they began to attack him from all sides. I think that those people who are familiar with the honey badger know how brave this animal is. He drives away coyotes, which are definitely not rivals to him, and drags the python into the bushes. Surprisingly, a python is able to cope even with an alligator, but it is not capable of doing anything with a honey badger who loves to eat snakes. And yes, I almost forgot to tell you that on this channel there is already a video from the category of animals in action, and specifically a leopard in action. I will leave a link to this video in the description. This is the zebra cobra, which is common in central Namibia and Angola. The length of this beautiful cobra can exceed 1.5 meters, and it is very poisonous. The predator noticed a small chameleon, and immediately rushed to him. The chameleon realized that he had no chance against the snake and therefore tried to escape. But one precise bite, and now the cobra is waiting for its poison to take effect. This video does not start from the very beginning of the fight. However, you can see that the small snake is very much inferior in size to the lizard. But despite the difference in size, the snake began to choke the lizard. And she did it quite competently closer to the head. She began to squeeze her rings in an attempt to strangle the victim. The fact is that any snake is a predator and sometimes they attack animals much larger than them. Even if she could strangle the lizard, she would hardly be able to swallow it. Steppe viper against the hedgehog. Hedgehogs are predators. They are rather unpretentious in food and eat everything that they manage to catch. Small snakes are often included in their diet. But in this case, the hedgehog does not show aggression, and does not even try to curl up into a ball as they do in case of danger. The viper defends itself and bites the hedgehog in the needles, but once she managed to bite him in the nose. Then the viper makes the right decision and crawls away. Tarantula is a fairly large spider. Spiders of this genus have a highly developed sense of smell and visual apparatus. They feed mainly on insects, caterpillars, ground beetles, bears, crickets, cockroaches and beetles. However, a snake decided to attack this tarantula. This type of snake hunts on frogs, mice, and sometimes spiders. However, in our case, the snake clearly overestimated its strength. The first time the spider lets her through and does not dare to attack, but the snake returns. The spider, sensing danger, rushes at her. A fierce battle breaks out. The snake is trying with all its might to grab the spider, but the powerful legs of the tarantula each time help it to free itself. As a result, the snake is defeated. The author of this video filmed how a snake caught a bat. The poor mouse tries to escape, but the snake holds it tightly in its rings. This is a real struggle for life. But suddenly something incomprehensible begins to happen to the snake. Most likely it is from the bites of the ants that came to the rescue of the bat. With their bites, they greatly interfere with the snake to complete its cunning plan. The reptile can no longer tolerate the bites of these tiny insects, and decides to flee. This battle was filmed by tourists on a beach in Thailand. A small python with a flying fox fell from a palm tree at a distance of 1 meter of the tourist's head. And the fight continues on the sand. And then, due to excessive attention, or from hot sand, the python releases its prey and decides to run away. This is the attack of a sea snake on a moray eel. If you didn't know, the venom of the sea snake is the most toxic of all the snakes in the world. So this poison acts on her victim instantly. The main thing is to bite, and then it's a matter of technique. And this is the same attack, only the sea snake overestimated its capabilities, and simply could not swallow the moray eel. Then we can see an epic battle. Gecko against a large green snake. The snake attacked first, but immediately received a return bite. This lizard literally fights for its life. It bites the snake by grabbing its throat with its paws, not allowing itself to be swallowed. By the way, geckos can climb absolutely smooth walls, because on each leg of the gecko there are millions of small claws and villi that are invisible to the human eye, thanks to which the lizard has such a superpower. The fight lasted quite a long time, and the poison from the bite must have already affected the gecko. The snake took advantage of the situation and swallowed the lizard, which fought very bravely, but unfortunately lost. The impudent snake attacked a rabbit's nest, which contained several babies. I don't know if she managed to kill everyone, but an angry mother returned home and immediately attacked the intruder. Of course, the rabbit does not have any special weapon to deal with such an enemy, but she still attacked the snake in order to quickly drive it away from its nest. She turned out great, and very impressive. Don't know why, but there are many videos of squirrels fighting big snakes. I did not even think that squirrels can bite a snake so fearlessly and aggressively, but they probably do not like them because of the habit of climbing into others' nests and stealing offspring there. This is a very unusual fight, in which two snakes of almost the same size came together. I don't know what the black one is called, but the second is clearly a viper, and she was very unlucky. The black predator simply ate the whole viper and crawled on. I can't even imagine how the viper fit inside this rabid snake. But these are the laws of nature, and even a dangerous and poisonous predator can become someone's dinner. Snake versus egret. I do not know what kind of snake it is, but it looks very much like a viper, and the type of bird is a little egret. This is a rather rare bird that accidentally stumbled upon a snake. I am sure that the snake did not attack first, but simply defended itself, because such a large bird is definitely too tough for it. Clutching the wing with sharp fangs, the viper was not going to let go of the poor bird. The white heron defended herself as best she could, and even pecked the snake in the head, but there was not much result from this. At the end, the heron managed to escape, or rather, she was simply released, after which she crawled to the shore with a wounded wing. I think that she will not be able to survive, because she received the most complete dose of the deadly poison. Turtles and snakes are very common in the wild, so fights between them are inevitable. They are both reptiles, and now you will see some deadly battles. The turtle's sharp jaws are well engineered for powerful bites. For example, A common snapping turtle can easily bite off a person's fingers. The snake, in turn, has poisonous teeth, but it makes no sense to consider the turtle as a prey, because the snake most often just defends itself. As I understand it, snakes for turtles are tasty prey, because when they are hungry they can easily drag even a pigeon into the water. Then we will consider the largest snake on Earth, the anaconda. Here you will see several battles between anaconda and a crocodile, which quite often meet face to face in the wild, because they have to divide their habitat all the time. You see how a giant anaconda spotted a small crocodile and dived into the waters of the Amazon River. The crocodile also noticed the snake and tried to run away, but he failed. In an unequal battle, the anaconda easily strangled the toothy predator with her deadly embrace. Then another deadly fight that got on the camera. People discovered a huge anaconda, which squeezed a large caiman with its rings. The anaconda's head was clenched by its teeth in the crocodile's mouth, after which it is almost impossible to survive. Here you see how two small dogs discovered a rather large python. The farmers came running when they heard the barking and saw the python put its death ring on one of the dogs. She desperately tried to escape, biting the snake with her teeth, and she succeeded. It's good that the farmers didn't kill this royal python, they just let it go. If you liked the episode, then traditionally put your royal likes, subscribe to the channel and never miss all the top episodes. Thanks for watching.